Hey guys, so this is part 2. Previous video I ran out of time, but let's continue on from the previous video. So we're talking a little bit about continuity and how we can continue on with our movement, make continuous motion with all different ways. So I guess a few extra ways we can do continuous motion. This is going to be negative space continuity. So we can use negative space to continue. So negative space is just the point around our body that you don't really see. So a good example is if I'm doing waving, right? We could be like, and then I could just grab this wave, throw it behind my head. You don't see where that wave's going anymore. But I could do this now. I could be like, one, throw it, and then continue it. Maybe throw it behind my back, boom, and then, so it's like I'm using that space to continue on the movement. So another way we can do this is like this. Let's say I grabbed an object. So this looks a little bit like mine. We grab something, we pull it to here, let go. We use the same point in space, the reference to the space, and now we can go, move this point over now, and now we can pick it up, move it over, down. Maybe we go over to here. So what I'm doing is I'm just using this space. I'm either drawing a path, like we draw a path that's invisible, and then my head follows the same path, or we pick a point, like a point here, 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 and we're just moving this point around. We can kind of pretend we're throwing it behind our back, throwing something up like this, catch, throw, catch, throw. So we're using almost like a little bit of mime here and negative space to create continuity, which is it's a cool little thing we can do. So we can also use polyrhythms. Okay, so polyrhythms, we're just going to have two different timings. Okay, so we've got to do different timings with different parts of our body. Easiest way is just to do one timing with your feet, another timing with your hands. So we'll show you a little example here. Let's get a stepping motion going. Boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, boom, boom, ta, boom. Okay, so we've got polyrhythms. Now we can add continuous motion or continuity through polyrhythms. It's similar to adding or subtracting styles. This time we're adding or subtracting timing, okay? So this is a really cool thing we can do. Get this timing going again. Boom, ta, ta, boom. Now we just add an extra timing on top. Boom, boom, ta, boom, ta, ta, boom, ta, ta, boom, ta. And I'm going to get rid of the feet now. Boom, ta, boom. So you know what I mean? We added and subtracted timings by doing polyrhythms. Polyrhythms, so much stuff we can do with polyrhythms. Honestly, we could be doing like a bounce, boom, ta, ta, boom, ta. And our feet could be doing something else completely, you know what I mean? So let's give that one a try, right? Let's try the bounce. Boom, boom, ta, ta. And then we just add floating or Maybe we'll do gliding instead. We'll go, and then we'll add a different tone with our hands. So that's a little bit similar to like polyrhythms, where we can like do bouncing timing, but then we can just add like a nice little glide or something. This works with slow motion. We can do slow motion with our body, but our hands could be doing like ticking or animation, anything like that, right? So let's try this. Let's try a polyrhythm of doing slow motion and like maybe ticking or something together, right? So get our slow motion going. So I'm going to be moving up really slow like this. And now I'll just add that. See what I mean? We're doing slow motion and ticking kind of at the same time, right? Tick, 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 tick. We can do it like that. We can be bringing our leg up in like slow motion. So we can do slow motion and waving, which is another two styles that work really well together. Like know what I mean? So we can be doing waving, slow motion. They work really well together. I think get the point of that. So the next would be directional continuity. So now we have to match the direction in which the previous motion was going. So if you've ever done cinematography or you know about video, like filming videos and stuff, there is like something called a match cut. And the point is to just match the direction that the previous video is going. So if I walk out of screen like this, the next person would have to be coming out of the screen to match that, or the movement would have to match the same direction. So we can do this with dance as well, right? So again, this is a little bit like a little bit similar to this. Like we throw behind our head and then we're still matching that direction. What we can also do is we could be like getting in and out of different styles that go very similar way to that, right? So I could be waving to like to here, just kind of like do a wave, but instead of doing a wave around the whole body, let's like wave to here, and now let's just like grab something and like throw it around. And now let's turn our hands. Now let's like add miming in. And now just like stop the mime, and now let's just like get into like robot with like some like airwalk or something, some moonwalk. And now let's keep the moonwalk going, and let's do some like polyrhythms or something like that. So as long as we're matching the direction, it still works, right? We can do this with so many different things, like our head, our body could be turned, and then we could like match the head. Head, body, head, body. So this is continuous because we're matching the direction. Our head actually stops, our body stops and stuff. So it's like a twisto flex or neko flex. It's continuous because we're matching the direction, okay? That's why it works. So I'm calling this directional continuity because we can match direction with this. And it applies with like heaps of different styles. Next would be cause and effect. So we can add cause and effect to add continuity. What I mean is like the illusion of like hitting something, boom, and then the next like cause and effect. So again, we could kind of do something like this, boom, 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 boom. So we're adding that kind of like cause and effect, right? We can do this with like so many different styles. I just call that like pendulum, even though I don't think it's got pendulum. It's just a swinging motion. We could do it with like other things as well, like maybe like our knees or something, like boom, 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 boom. Our legs, like, you know what I mean? So like heaps of different things we could do. Our foot or our hand could be here, and we could just kind of like kick, like we go kick, maybe knee, foot, boom, hand, boom, knee, boom, hands, boom. Like hand, boom, boom. Maybe we'll do like tapping, boom, boom, pulling like string. So we can kind of do stuff like that. Even that's kind of like cause and effect, you know. So there is something causing it to react like that. Okay. So it doesn't have to necessarily be like boom, boom, boom. We could also kind of like control that, like as long as there's like something that's causing that motion, right? If that makes sense. Okay, so next would be conceptual continuity. So this is pretty much like I was just talking about. It's very similar, right? So conceptual continuity. We're using concepts this time to make everything more continuous. Concepts could be string. Like we're using string, we're pulling strings, okay? So string, 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 boom, 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 string, 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 strings, strings, pop, pop, string, string. Okay, so that's one way we can do it. Like we can imagine like we're pulling on strings or something. So the movement isn't necessarily continuous, like, oh, we're at our chest now, we have to do something with our chest. We could be like chest, oh, maybe like shoulder or knee. So we can just use the concept of strings or something. This applies to like sticky hands and magnet kind of effect. If you're doing like a magnet effect, we could be like, oh, our hand is like magnetized, our head's like magnetized to our hand now. And now we could be like, oh, now shoulder. Oh. Oh. Like it's like the magnetized kind of effect, right? So you know what I mean? So it's like our body's being like magnetized to something. So we can make it more continuous like that through our effect that we're applying to the dance. So the concept pretty much. So whatever concept you're doing, whether it's like, it's mime, like we've got a balloon here or something, or a rope, we're pulling on a rope. And then this rope pulls us back. So it's very similar to also like the negative space thing I was talking about. But it's just whatever concept we want to play around with at the time, you know. So we could be doing a variety of different concepts, like there's some stuff we could do. So the next thing, I haven't got much time again, it's just going to be multiple points. So I got like 1 minute to go over this before I run out of time, but multiple points. So let's just do a very simple one. Double threads. We're going to have 2 points this time. One, maybe like a thread through a thread. So maybe we'll go through and behind like this. So now at any point we can pick any hands we want to like continue on from, right? So right, we have 2 points on our body. We can go up this way, we can go up this way, because we've got multiple points to choose from, so we can always be continuous with whatever points we're doing. This hand could go down, this hand could go down, this could come up, this could come up. Here, this could go around, this could come down. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe we want to like, always change this point around. So multiple points is a good one. And yeah, this applies with like tutting. It applies with like threading, tracing, and like all this different stuff as well. So multiple points is the next thing we can do as well, guys. So I've run out of time. Sorry, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.